Right, we're going to do a push-up using a TRX suspension trainer. This one's an imitation TRX suspension trainer. I want to go over the form of a proper push-up on the ground first. Using a TRX is basically for people who want to do really long push-up sets or people who can't do them on the ground and need a push-up made easier for them. So the cool thing about a TRX trainer is that depending on the angle that you choose, the push-up is harder or it's easier. Okay, so a push-up gets harder the more parallel with the ground you are, and it gets easier the more vertical you're standing. So you can adjust right in the middle of the set to make something harder or easier. If you start to lose your form, if you feel that you're failing, for example, then you can just change the angle by standing up a bit. You can continue your set until you've reached the prescribed number of reps or the proper length of time that you've been assigned by your trainer. So, doing a push-up on the ground, if I was on a glass floor and you were looking up at me, I would look like this, okay? So my hands are wider than my shoulders, the inside of my hand is at the outside of my shoulder, and it's in line kind of with my shoulders, like in between my shoulders and my chest, all right? And from here, I'm going to push up, and I'm going to come all the way down till my nose is almost on the ground. My chest is almost touching the ground. Up and down. One of the biggest ways that people cheat on a push-up is they go up and they only come down to here. Up and come down to here. If that's you, don't do them. There's no point. You might as well use a TRX to build your strength up so that you can eventually do them on the ground. Okay? Now, you can also do push-ups on your knees. I have a video on how to do that, right? If you can do push-ups on your knees for a long period of time, that's great. But some of you might not even be able to do that. Some of you might not be able to maintain your form doing that. Again, a TRX is great to make it easier or harder right in the moment. So, let me show you what it looks like. And then I'm going to explain exactly what it is that I'm doing. First thing I want to say, make sure you are maintaining a tight core and that your back is straight and your head stays straight. Don't look up, but just look straight, kind of down like that, right? So I'm maintaining a neutral spine. My knees are locked. And I want to make sure that I'm not sagging or that I'm not bending at the waist, okay? Because now what I've done is I've shortened the lever from here to here instead of here down to my toes. I'm not getting as good a workout. And it might also be indicative of a core strength problem, and I would want to address that. So a trainer will assess you, and this is actually, you doing these is an assessment tool that I use to see how strong people's core is. So if you find that you cannot maintain that straight body at any angle, okay, and like, again, more vertical is easier, okay, if you're still doing this, then I'm going to invite you to make an adjustment. Step out like this, okay? So you can have about 60% of your weight on the front foot, but still have some weight here so you got some resistance. You're pushing up. Okay, so some specifics about this movement. Unlike a push-up on the ground, which is a closed chain exercise, meaning you're pushing away from the ground. I'm not moving the ground, I'm moving me. In this case, it's still a closed chain motion, but it's more like a dumbbell chest press for a couple of reasons. Number one, I have the instability that I don't have on the ground, okay? And I also it's more like I'm pushing a set of dumbbells up, and I have a range of motion that's greater, okay? So the pecs, which is the primary muscle that we're working, which pull your arms across your body. So when I'm doing this, my elbows are coming together, right? When I'm doing a push-up, they don't come together quite as much, okay? So this is a better range of motion and it's less stable, so now I'm forced to use my stabilizer muscles. I'm forced to use my core to keep my body straight. Again, remember, you don't want to sag or have your butt out, right? And I'm also forced to use my trunk stabilizer so I don't wiggle side to side. So it's better overall full body workout. Not as good for bodybuilding. In bodybuilding, you want to make things as stable as possible and isolate the muscle you're targeting as much as possible. But here, we just want a good full body workout, okay? So things to remember: core is tight, back is straight, knees are locked, everything's, as I go through the range of motion, stays like this. Okay? So let me do it again. I'll show you the breathing this time. Breathe in, out, in, out, in, out. Face the camera a bit here, and I want to point it, my hands are coming together, right? When they come back here, I'm outside of my shoulders. So the inside of my hand is at the outside of my shoulders. I'm not in here like this. That's a close grip chest press. Totally different. We can do that with the TRX too. But you want to be wide so that your pecs are really forcing you up, okay? You want to make it easier, you stand up more, okay? You want to make it harder, to move off to the side, but you increase the angle more like this, okay? So this is a harder movement right here. So sorry, I got the post in the way, but that just shows you how you can change the angle and make it harder or easier, all right? Remember, keep a tight core. If you find you're sagging, or if you find that you're bending at the waist when you're doing this exercise, try stepping out like this, okay? Get used to the motion, get a little bit of strength, and then bring the feet back, and try it again. Film yourself, video yourself, look at the video to see, am I maintaining that form? Is my back arching too much, all right? Very, very key movement, just like a dumbbell chest press, but not. It's still a closed chain motion, like I said, but it's like an open chain dumbbell chest press or cable chest press, all right? So there it is. You can call it a TRX push-up or a TRX chest press. Great exercise for the chest. Also works the triceps, the front and side deltoid muscles that raise my arms up like this. Okay, all of those work together in one motion. There's going to be another video on how to do a close grip chest press, but remember again, here, your hands are wide outside your shoulders and your palms are facing down. Okay? TRX, chest press, or push-up.